Sometimes between all the RPGs, I like to switch things up, and this year has had quite a few of those, but this is the first one that I'm bringing to the channel. The atmospheric platform puzzle games Planet of Lana were not on my radar until I was offered a code for Planet of Lana II, but since it was a sequel and the original was on sale for $1.99 on Steam at the time, I decided to get that and play it too before getting to the sequel. I'm so glad I did. While shorter overall adventures, Planet of Lana packs a lot of fun and specifically interesting storytelling in that short period. Planet of Lana, as previously mentioned, is a puzzle platforming game. The games are developed by Wishfully and published by Thunderful, who handle a lot of indie publishing. The game is described in similar terms gameplay-wise to the game Inside. Tonally, they are very different, but this is part of the inspiration. Another clear inspiration for the game comes with Ghibli movies, which I think will become more apparent once I talk about the plot, story, and visuals of the game. One of the developers made this drawing back in 2017, and the whole game plus design has stemmed from that drawing. You can see how faithfully they have stuck to that design, which is impressive for a concept art piece. The first game was the debut game for the developers, but that doesn't mean it didn't attract experienced staff. In particular, the composer Takeshi Furukawa had been the composer for The Last Guardian, and fun fact, also has done composing work for Star Wars The Clone Wars and the live-action Avatar The Last Airbender show, and he requested specifically to work on Planet of Lana. The first game released in May of 2023 on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. It was later ported to Switch, PS4, PS5, and mobile. The game got good, not great reviews, with critics praising the visuals and sense of atmosphere, with critique coming for the puzzles not bringing much new to the table for the genre. Planet of Lana II came after the success of the first game, which was originally supposed to be a standalone game. The sequel expanded the biomes, increased movement speed and puzzle complexity, and introduced new twists to the narrative while retaining the visual style and storytelling of the first game. It came out on March 5th, 2026 for Switch, Switch 2, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series, and was met with slightly better reviews than the original, with many calling it a worthwhile follow-up that improved and expanded without bloating or misstepping. The plot of the first Planet of Lana game begins with our main character Lana exploring outside of her village at the time that a group of robots come and capture all the inhabitants. Lana sets out to rescue them, specifically her sister Elo. Yes, that is her sister. I literally thought Elo was a guy until I read supplementary material. This is why we don't assume gender, folks. Lana is not alone in her mission though, as she is joined by a shadow cat creature with strange powers named Mui. Using Lana's impressive climbing skills, Mui's powers, and anything else they pick up on the way, the pair make their way across the land discovering more about the origins of their world and tracking the robots. To say more risks spoilers, as these are shorter games. Planet of Lana took me 4 hours to finish, while Planet of Lana II took me 6 hours to finish. Planet of Lana II picks up after the events of the first game with a changed world that Lana and Mui are trying to fit back into, but with its own problems about to rear its head. Again, I won't go into further detail for risk of spoiling the first game by revealing some of those changes, but it's been a worthwhile ride in my opinion story-wise. The impressive thing about Planet of Lana's storytelling is that the game is told through dialogue in the language of Novo, a made-up language by the developers with no subtitles. Okay, apart from that one part. That means that you piece together the story through the body language and tone of the voice acting, plus through environmental storytelling. I'll talk more about the voice acting when we get to the presentation, but I found that plenty of fictional languages in games don't sound like languages when spoken because of the awkwardness of the delivery. Planet of Lana does not have that issue. I wouldn't have been surprised if the developers had used an obscure language for the game because of how naturally it fit. Planet of Lana does a great job of using diagrams, maps, paintings, and more visual clues in locations to tell the story. They do also make sure to make the really important bits hard to miss, so that players can hopefully keep at least those broad details in mind, but I really enjoyed piecing things together. My proudest moment in the story was clocking a Planet of Lana II twist by a detail I remembered from the first game. The clues are there, and anyone who enjoys subtle storytelling will get a kick out of these games. The gameplay's main focus is on the utilization of both Lana and Mui to solve issues. Lana and Mui each have their own skills both starting out and developed throughout the games, meaning you have to figure out how to use both to solve many of the puzzles. Mui is small, can jump really high, has a way to mesmerize certain shadow enemies or deactivate power/robot enemies, is able to click buttons if necessary, but Mui is very scared of water. Lana is larger and can move objects or open up passageways. She can swim and climb ropes, which Mui can't. And Lana gets certain objects that allow her to use terminals to directly or indirectly interact with the robots. Sometimes this can even mean turning them into a temporary ally. Many of the puzzles use both Lana and Mui's skill sets to succeed. There are puzzles that are simply environmental, finding the way forward, as well as ones that involve creatures who will cause you harm if you aren't careful. And then there's the technological or robot ones, which similarly can also attack you or risk discovery. The game is good about not moving you too far back when you fail at a task, so the autosave works to your advantage. I will echo what the reviewers say. The puzzles and gameplay of Planet of Lana II incorporate the skills of both characters and increase the complexity in a way that benefits the experience. I had a good time with the first game despite the puzzle's simplicity though, because the shorter length of the playthrough meant I was still engaged and not bored with similar mechanics. I think both games do a good job of incorporating new mechanics into each level while not forgetting the older ones. Planet of Lana II also brings escape sequences with quicker in-the-moment thinking necessary to complete. I think they fit the game well narratively and aren't too taxing. These aren't Ori-style escape sequences, thankfully. The games are far from the most challenging puzzle platformers out there, but I think that works due to the stronger visual and narrative focus of the games. There's still puzzles that will make you think and consider and require good timing to complete, and that's enough for me at least. Both games also have some secrets you can discover as you are playing. In the first game, there are secret shrines that form a diagram when you piece them together. I didn't find a single one naturally through just playing. Planet of Lana II has secret holograms that also piece together to form a bigger image as you discover them. I found half of the secret holograms without any assistance, so clearly they decided to make those easier to find than the shrines were. I enjoyed that they included this side content as a little bonus to those who explore beyond the main area. Since you can do chapter select in both games, you can also go back easily to get any of the ones you missed after you finish the game. The most obvious thing that stands out about the Planet of Lana games from the moment you first see it, though, is the visual presentation. The hand-painted art for Planet of Lana is absolutely gorgeous, and the game knows it. There are particular moments where the camera will zoom out so that you can appreciate the majesty of the landscape and comparative tininess of Lana and Mui. The art is very colorful and does a great job distinguishing between the beauty of the natural world, the care of the human-built settlements, the decay of the ruins, and the cold feeling of the mechanical locations. All that gorgeous art would not work without two specific audio areas. The music would use this simple instrumentation to evoke strong feelings of isolation, danger, and eventual catharsis. The sound design when it comes to the noises of the creatures, the robots, the natural world, and especially Mui, who has a set of adorable sounds. This extends to the human dialogue, which is a made-up language but sounds real, and the voice actors put on great performances to make the emotions come through anyway. The game has a very clear UI and sparingly uses it beyond the menu to preserve the atmosphere, and the developers used environmental signs and trusted the player's knowledge base to teach what you need to know and hint at puzzle solutions after you have the basics down. There was only one instance in Planet of Lana II where I felt the design of a puzzle hindered my ability to figure out the solution, and it's just as possible that I was being particularly dense that play session. The UX continued to improve from game to game. The first game got criticism for the slow pace of Lana's movement as she could not sprint, so Planet of Lana II added that ability. It was a little hard to go back to the first game after playing the second game because of that, but it shows that the developers have listened to the feedback and made improvements. Planet of Lana II also introduces a log where you can see certain murals and paintings that you saw before, as well as reviewing your goal. I don't think that was necessary, but I can see why other people might enjoy that. I've seen plenty of gorgeous games that did not follow through on other elements of the presentation. Planet of Lana is not one of those games. This is a complete visual, auditory, and tactile experience. Planet of Lana and its sequel are a fun pair of games that have a great visual presentation paired with an engaging platform and puzzle game. If this video has made you interested in playing the games, I encourage you to check them out. Thanks to the team at Thunderful and Wishfully for the code to Planet of Lana II. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more gaming videos. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and happy gaming.